The idea behind Luminar AI is that you're going to start your photo editing process using the AI tools and using templates. Templates are essentially presets that the tool will automatically detect what type of photo that you have and then recommend a number of templates, hopefully some that will go along with the genre of photography that you have. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. Hi, my name is William Beem. I'm a portrait photographer in Central Florida. Today, I want to remind you that we're looking at beta software, so not everything is perfect. There may be some things that have a user interface element but aren't quite fully developed. But overall, this should give you an idea how Luminar AI is going to work once it comes out. The plan is that it will come out in the holiday season, most likely December, I think, of 2020. And this is just kind of a preview based upon the beta. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm in my catalog. I've just got some demo photos. A few of these are stock photos, like for these ones right up front here, simply because I'm typically not a landscape photographer. I don't have a drone, so I can't do any top-down. But I wanted to get some photographs of different genres to try and show you what happens when you load a photo and then try and go ahead and go for a template. So I've selected this photo right over here, and we're going to click on templates. And you see that it starts off for this photo, and it's making some recommendations. So it's got one here called Savannah. And it's looking at this and thinking this is a photograph of a savanna, but there are some others. If you click over here, you'll see Blockbuster. And what you see with these are their collections. Blockbuster is not a preset itself. It is a collection using these different types. I don't think these are going to be quite what we want. I'm curious to go ahead and look at Savannah and see what it does. So we're just going to walk through these one at a time and see what results we get. I'm going to start off with Evening Chill. And that looks, to me, honestly, it looks more warmed up, but I'm noticing the change in the colors here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the compare view, and we'll just see, you can see how we have our color over here. Everything was, with these lavender fields, was quite purple, and that's what we had as our before photo. And then afterwards, you can see how it's really done a color change. So instead of this lavender, it's almost turned these things blue. Now, the next one, Warming Sun. I'm going to turn off the compare mode. And now you can see it's taking us in a totally different direction. It's really doubled down, I think, on the purple color in here. The sky is kind of blown out with these changes, but everything's warmed up a bit more. I don't want to go through every one of these. I'm going to click on Instant Result just to try one more in the Savannah collection. And these may or may not work to your taste. So when you start off with the template, you may get something that works great for you. You can mark them as favorites, so you can see the little heart over here. If you find one that you really like and you may want to use it on other photographs, go ahead and save your favorites. Now, once you've gotten here, you've got two choices, really. The first one is you can come back and click this little arrow over here and go back to templates. Let's say that Savannah collection and Blockbuster collection didn't do what you wanted to do. The essentials are for people and landscapes. Even within landscape, you see there's a number of collections: big city lights, sunsets, storm chasers, easy landscapes. Let's click on sunsets for this one. And I'm going to go with dream film. I'm kind of seeing some of these for the first time, particularly with this photo as well, too. So I'm curious to see what we get. And I think for a sunset, it might be good. It's a little bit much. This one looks like it's a black and white photo for me, which honestly, with a photograph like this, I would not want to change this colorful field into black and white. And yet there I did. And actually, I'm surprised. I kind of like this, where you can see the foreground nice and sharpened in focus and how it moves on back. So sometimes even choosing something that you didn't like might reveal something about your subject that you hadn't considered before. But let's go ahead. I'm going to undo this, go down here and click Reset Adjustments. I'm going to come back to the templates, and I want to try a different type of photograph now. So we're going to go back to our catalog. This is a drone shot. So I'm going to click on that and select templates. So you can see in this one, it gives us natural skies. I think it's mistaking the sea for a sky, understandably so. And then you can see we have an artistic collection. I'm kind of curious to see, that's kind of interesting. And you can also go with a subtle effect. That one actually means something to me. And I kind of like the look that it's given me. Let's go back to the catalog. We're going to pick one more. This one is also an aerial or drone shot. We'll select templates. And for this one, let's go into landscape. All right, so clear and sharp. That seems pretty simple and easy enough to understand. Wow, that really brought that one out. That gives a nice little pop. Let's go to this one called Pleasing Touch. Gives you kind of a nice little mystical feeling. I actually like that one for this photograph. All right, so I mentioned that you could go back and you could do other templates, and you can just kind of go through them. You can select your favorites. Suppose you get something that's close to what you want, but not quite. You can still go to Edit. Once you're there, you see that the items that are kind of brighter than other menu items, and that's where you see something that's changed. And the same thing over here, like on the Creative tab, nothing's been done, but everything was done on the Essentials tab here. So we can take a look at color and see they kind of brought the saturation down a little bit. And they've moved some of the sliders here under HSL. So you can go back and change those if you don't like the way they look. Under Enhance, they gave it just a little bit of accent. And under Light, you can see there's some smart contrast. They brought the highlights down and opened the shadows up a little bit. So if you don't like what you see here, you can still go back and change this any way you want. So for example, on this one, I might want to go over to the Creative area and take a look at either Mystical or Glow. And I'm curious what happens if I bring up Mystical just a little bit. I kind of like that. I don't like Mystical when it's too much because everything just becomes kind of smeared together. But a little bit of Mystical is good. I'm going to turn that off, and we're going to go down and look at Glow. And you've got a couple of choices here: Soft Focus, Glow, Orton Effect, or Orton Soft. I'm going to go with the Orton Effect, and I'm going to bring this up just a little bit. And we can see our before and after. So that's where we started off with. And all I've done is add an Orton effect. The rest of this really came from the template. You can get your photos done very quickly if you're using this workflow of allowing the tool to analyze what kind of photograph you have and then selecting a preset that works for it. You may not always find a preset that works for it. Maybe you need to go through or want to go through and choose your own. I'm going to do one more. And in this case, we're going to select this gentleman over here and look for a template for a portrait. And it might take a moment. Keep in mind, this is beta software. It took a moment just to go ahead and determine that this is a portrait. So it gives me essence. It also gives me some black and white, which is an interesting suggestion for this photo. Let's go ahead and take a look at Soulful. And you've got a quick and easy selection for black and white. You can, if you like matte photos, I'm not necessarily a big fan of matte photos, but I kind of want to try this low key. And you've got just some quick and easy ways by letting the tool go ahead, analyze your photograph, suggest some templates, and then you can either go with the template just the way you want to, or you can go ahead and select Edit. You can modify the template, or if you want to, you can come down here, these three little dots, reset the adjustments, and go into Edit, and you have all of these tools to do whatever you want. So that's a quick look at the workflow as I'm hearing from the folks at Skylum that they would like to see things work, or at least as they intend for things to work in Luminar AI. There's a lot of power in the AI tools. Remember, the idea for Luminar AI is to get in and get out quickly with a good result, not necessarily to go in there and have a tools-based or technique-based workflow. The idea is get a result, get it quickly, and move on. If this was helpful, please go ahead and share this with a friend. I'm going to have more videos on Luminar AI and some of the different tools and ideas and concepts behind it. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. That tells YouTube that we're doing something right. And I'd love it if you would go ahead and subscribe. And if you do, please click the bell notification icon. I'll be putting out more videos on Luminar AI and other portrait-related topics. So if you do that, that'll let you know when something new comes out. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.